All right, before the break, we told you about several companies warning that they will miss financial targets because of supply chain disruptions from the outbreak. Let's get to Eunice Yoon with an update on what's been happening in China, their progress at getting factories back up and running. And Eunice, it's good to see you.
You too, Becky. You know, it really depends on how large the company is. The government today put out some interesting data on small and medium-sized enterprises, which show that the resumption of work as of yesterday topped 30%. So this is higher by 3% from just a couple of days ago. For manufacturing, it was actually quite a bit better at 43%. But then if you look at the numbers for the large companies, these state-owned enterprises, over a week ago, about 80% in the manufacturing industry had already resumed work. There is a question, though, on the definition of resumption of work. When I speak to some factories, they say that they've turned the lights on. Sometimes they're using local workers. Sometimes they're only doing the preparation work, and they're not actually getting the assembly lines back up and running. So it's not totally clear exactly how far along the Chinese government has gotten these businesses to resume work fully. Now, there is a disruption, of course, to a lot of American as well as European companies, not only that are in the manufacturing sector, but outside of it as well. Both of the communities here put out surveys as of today. The AmCham survey for China, or American Chamber of Commerce, said that 48% polled see a drop in China revenue for this year if the business continues to stay abnormal until April 30th. The European Chamber of Commerce said that 48% of its members see a decline in revenue of 20% or more for the first half of 2020, and 46% expect to lower their business target for the year. A lot of the problems that the manufacturers had were mainly around the unpredictability, they said, of the rules here. Now, the central bank has been trying to reassure businesses here with several different measures, but today specifically said that the bank would go as far as possible to reduce the impact of the epidemic and ensure that China achieves its economic goals for the year. So that sentiment and that statement has been raising a lot of questions here as to how long the government will be able to try to avoid large-scale stimulus. As you guys know, they've been talking about targeted. They don't want to have the dangers of large-scale stimulus, but with unemployment and potential bankruptcies on the leaders' minds here, that is a really big question mark. Now, separately, we had a little bit of a projection from one of the top epidemiologists here, a government-sanctioned one, gave a briefing today and said that he believed that the outbreak in China would be contained by the end of April. So we'll see whether or not that pans out, because I'm not quite sure if he included the surge that you're seeing overseas, and the concern also here that there will be a reintroduction of more infections in China because of it.